There was something strange about my mom when I was growing up. But as a kid, I thought it was completely normal. Every family has weird rules, right? In our house, the biggest rule was simple: never sit in my mom's chair. At the dinner table there was one specific seat that belonged only to her. No one else was allowed to touch it. Not me. Not my sister. Not even my dad. If someone accidentally sat there, my mom wouldn't yell. She would just stand there quietly, staring. And eventually the person would move. I remember one Thanksgiving when my grandmother came to visit. She sat in that chair without realizing it. My mom froze behind her like a statue. No words. No movement. Finally my dad leaned over and whispered something to Grandma. She immediately stood up and switched seats. Everyone laughed awkwardly, but I didn't understand why. To me, it was just one of Mom's rules. But there were a lot of rules. Before every meal, she had a routine. She would tap her fork against the plate 5 times. Exactly 5. Then she would rearrange all the food so nothing touched. Even spaghetti. I remember watching her separate noodles from the sauce one by one like it was some kind of puzzle. As a kid, I thought it was funny. Like a strange little habit. Our house was full of those habits. Her shoes had to be perfectly lined up by the door. Magnets on the refrigerator had to be arranged in a straight line. Canned food in the pantry had to face forward with the labels perfectly centered. If something was out of place, she would quietly fix it. Over and over. One afternoon when I was in elementary school, I accidentally knocked over a stack of magazines she had carefully arranged on the coffee table. They scattered everywhere. I panicked and tried to put them back in the exact order. But she walked in before I finished. She didn't yell. She didn't punish me. Instead, she just stood there staring at the mess. Then she slowly sat on the floor next to the magazines. Rocking slightly. Whispering numbers under her breath. My dad quietly took me out of the house for ice cream. We stayed out for hours. When we came back, everything in the living room was perfect again. Back then, I thought I had discovered the best trick ever. Mess something up, get ice cream. But my dad looked exhausted that night. I didn't understand it until many years later. In college I took a psychology class. One lecture was about obsessive-compulsive disorder. The professor described compulsive rituals. Counting. Arranging objects. Fear of contamination. The need for things to feel exactly right. And suddenly my entire childhood made sense. My mom wasn't just strict. She was fighting a battle in her mind every single day. A battle none of us understood when I was little. Looking back now, I realize something that kids rarely see. Sometimes the strange rules in a house are actually someone trying very hard to keep their world from falling apart.